Hey guys, welcome to the GEM, the Grand Enterprises Movement. Our mission is to motivate, to energize, to uplift, to encourage, and of course, to inspire one another each and every single day, y'all. I am super duper excited, y'all. Today, we have an amazing guest star with us today. I'm excited because she is bringing all the good stuff, y'all. All the good stuff. We talking about being corporate classy, y'all, and all types of stuff. Her name is Miss Alberta Thomas, y'all. She in the building.
Yes,
All right. Well,
Tammy, thank
welcome, welcome.
you.
Yes, well, thank you for coming on the gym. I'm super duper excited that you decided to join me on this platform. We're doing this for a while, about a year, a little over a year now, and I'm just so excited to have some amazing guests such as yourself. I know you have your amazing platform, the corporate classy, right? Is it corporate classy or classy and corporate? Which one is it? Because I won't mess
No,
it up.
yeah, no, you're right. The first one is corporate classy, but please come correct.
Oh, y'all heard that? Y'all heard that? Corporate classy, but still, y'all better come correct. Yes, yes. Listen, tell people about yourself, who you are, a little bit about your background. I'm trying to do it different ways this time because some people, I do their intro and stuff like that, but I be messing stuff up, girls. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just let people come in and introduce themselves, and definitely, yeah, want to hear from you and who you are.
Yeah, no, thank you, Tammy. Thank you for having me on too. And like she stated, I'm Alberta. I am from a small town in South Carolina. It's called Hemingway, South Carolina. So I was born and raised in a small population of people, about 500 people. So just kind of really quickly, just kind of navigated my life and took a different approach at life. You know, my entire life, I wanted to have the norm, fantasy life, dream. You know, kids, married, go to school, all of those good things, but I made a pivot and change, and I took my life by storm. Right, so I'm 33 years old. I picked up my entire life, moved from my family to Oregon for work because I also work in the corporate world. I've been in retail.
Wow.
I'm a regional director, have about 80 employees.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, and so that's kind of where it started. And so I was able to kind of move from South Carolina over to Oregon, Portland, Oregon, and embrace an amazing team here. And again, just young, 33, no kids, no husband, but I have a guy. And I just live my life freely, good, and always trying to figure out a way on how I can latch on to something good. So that kind of sums it up. Pretty basic. No, you kind of went out just a little bit. Mm-mm. Listen, I work in retail, so I promise you I understand. I sell phones for a living. Well, not now, but I have an amazing team that do so. So technology is a beast. It is. So Tammy stepping away, getting her mic check one more time. I realize I'm still live. I know people probably in the chat like, hey, Berta. Look, so let me go to the chat. I see some people. I see John. John, hi, John. No, I can't hear you. Mm-mm-mm. Hi, Donna. I see Donna in the chat. Okay, good. No, Tammy. Tammy trying to do a mic check. Looks like it went on mute. Yep. Thank you, Donna. I see OG Blue from Queens. I'm super excited. Who is? Look, I'm trying to figure out if I know people here.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I am so sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what happened.
No,
Um,
it happens.
I do
We're
apologize. All right, I just want to make sure that you can hear me and see me okay.
I think you just turned your camera off, but I can hear you great. You
Did
sound great.
okay. All right. Sorry about that. I do not know what happened, but ooh, child. They playing with me over here on stream, y'all. You better stop playing. I might be switching platforms.
That's what
Hey,
happened.
Donna. Donna said we can hear you. Thank you, Donna. We needed somebody. Mic check 1, 2. All right. Well, listen, we're back, guys, and thank you guys for being patient. Thank you so much, Alberta. I'm sorry. All
Oh, for
right.
sure.
Let's pick up where we started. You were telling us a little bit about yourself and just, letting the people know a little bit more about who you are. So I do apologize that, we got cut off on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just to kind of sum it up, I moved to Oregon for work, and I've been here for 2 years. And
Nice.
yeah, and so it's just me. I picked up my whole entire self, shipped me and my car across the country for work. And, I have no kids. I have no husband, but I have an amazing guy that's a part of my life since I moved here. And
Amen.
my support system here is big too. So I have a lot of support from my team, from my outside support, and it's been great. So
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, Tiara. Tiara Cunningham, one of your people, said, hey, girl, hey. So listen, I know you mentioned that you work in retail and you've been in retail for a while. What do you do in retail?
yeah, I've been in retail now. August this month is 8 years. I've been with this company. It's called Round Room. Well, TCC. We are Verizon largest authorized retailer. So I've been, started my life on in the trenches selling phones. You come into a Verizon location, you saw me. And kind of just worked my way up the ladder, right? From being a field trainer, was store manager to field trainer, and I had so much good support. And so now I'm here in this role. I've been a regional director now for 2 years. So it's been great. So I lead a team of 80 people. And it's crazy too, because I shared this link with them
Wow.
and all of them are in the chat. All my leaders are in the chat.
I see
So
you. Hey, y'all.
yes, they show up. They show up too. So
I I absolutely love that. OG Blue is in the building too. That's my father. He's so funny.
nice.
He one of my biggest fans, girl. He be popping in, in the
I
building.
love it.
So thank you for telling us a little bit about yourself and way to go for being a regional. Yes, honey. We love seeing us win. We absolutely, yeah, what you said. We love you, Alberta. Yes. So what do you feel on the corporate classy side, right? That's your business, that's your brand. How do you feel stepping into that platform has kind of impacted what you aspire to do overall? Like, I know that you work in, retail and that's kind of like your job, but with the corporate classy piece, are you kind of making that into your entrepreneur brand? And what do you see for yourself with that?
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of where it started for me. And you probably know our scene where in life, as you continue to kind of move up the ladder, you try to navigate what your life is going to look like, working on a day to day outside of entrepreneurship. I always know that I wanted to expand my personal brand, but I was like, how can I leverage the things that I'm good at? And I'm good at, telling my story. I'm good at connecting with people, and I'm good at being able to create a space where, people feel comfortable to have those open and transparent conversation. And I think for me, because, in my job, I have a leader beside me, and I have people, and my support system is big, where I am authentically myself. So I'm the same person you see outside of work at work, but of course you got your boundaries. And I think for me, being able to be my authentic self, I'm able to, over to my platform, is allow people, especially women, like we go through so much in the corporate world, we just go through so much in general. And I have a story, and I have a story that is different from the average person. And understanding that it is okay to go after higher positions than what people think you as a woman should be. So don't settle for anything shorter than the best. And so that's a space of, I really value self-care. So balancing work and personal life and making sure you're taking care of yourself, that's what my platform brings. And I always share, you know, ways of how to do that and how to be confident in yourself. And so, yeah.
I absolutely love that. Self care is so important, and you definitely, if someone was to look on, and guys, if you haven't already done so, make sure we'll talk about how to follow her later. But definitely make sure that they check out your website and definitely your social media platforms, because it exudes self care, self love. I really pick up that vibe when I look at your platforms, your website, all of that. So you definitely are on to something because that is like your thing, and I absolutely love that, especially like the piece around women like really embracing their authentic selves, and that just seems to be a theme, and I love that. I love that. So yes, definitely keep on with that. Yep, for sure. So, and getting into now your corporate classy platform, how do you kind of like pitch your platform to other people? How do you then bring them into your space? What does that look like?
So I think it just starts from, just my personal journey, and I'm always sharing it. So I'm always looking for a way to share my story, but I'm also listening for, what people have going on and how I can relate to it. And by me doing that, I'm able to give them the platform that they have. So for example, if someone come to me and say, like, I don't know how to, balance my life and work. Oh, I can show you how to prioritize your life and your work, because the same way how you prioritize coming to your regular 9 to 5, you do the same thing. And I always tell my people, like, and let me give you an example. On Thursdays at 5, that's a date night for me and my guys. So if I'm off after 5. And that's because I prioritize that space and that time. And so I think it's important to connect my story with people's story. And I listen for key things that people go through. And that's kind of how I bridge my topics into my platform based upon what they go through and also my experience, because I go through some of the same things, but it don't look the same, but it still has that same foundation, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
Somebody said in the chat, "Girl, I need to schedule some date night." That's brilliant. Yeah, that
Listen,
is that. And
it's
yes,
true, because when you
yes,
don't, and it's crazy because some days, Tammy, I would tell people like, I have nothing else to give you this day, because I probably already exhaust all of my energy. And people tell you I'm just energy. I got a ball of energy, and
mm-hmm,
I give it. And at the end
yes,
of the day, sometimes I don't have it to give. And if I didn't prioritize my relationships that I have and friendships, then I won't have any.
yes,
So I think it's important.
yes.
Hmm.
Donna is so funny. She got her mom on here to support you. Hi, Miss Kimberly.
Bye, Kimberly.
I love the chat. The chat is over there blowing up over there. So, what has been your greatest success thus far?
Ah. I would probably say moving to Oregon because, back home, I am very family oriented and my family is everything to me. And I'm used to, if something happened, right, I'm used to easily having access to them. So I didn't have to worry about struggles or anything because if my car broke down, I know my brother or my mom or my sister is there. So I day-to-day things, I didn't have to worry about it. But when I moved to Oregon, it was more of, well, dang, if something happened, I got to figure this thing out. I don't have no support here, not yet, not at the beginning. So I have to figure it out on top of um, figuring it out and then utilizing the extra time that I have. So by me having the extra time and not, running to family house, that's how I was really able to dive into entrepreneurship. And that's how I started my podcast and a lot of other things that I do on the side. And so me moving here challenged me to buckle down, I would say, because I know I wanted to speak. I know I wanted to connect with people, and I know in life is bigger than me, and I needed to make it a priority. So me moving here, it became a priority for me. So
I love that. I love that. And I heard you throw that the little side piece and side hustle thing in there. How many side hustles do you got?
well, I
Can
have
you
a
try to slide
couple.
that in there real quick? Catch
No,
up.
I have a couple for
Tell us
sure.
about them.
So
They
so
want
I'll
to. They want to also know the name of your podcast again.
yes, it is
Some
corporate classy, but please come correct podcast. Yes. And so I would tell you my other things that I do. So my guy is a personal trainer. You wouldn't think so if you look at me because he's in the gym every day. I'm not, but that's his thing. So I'm a support from the back. So for me, I'm always looking for ways on how to build his brand for himself because it's ours together. So I started making shirts, cups, branding. Didn't even know I liked arts and crafts. I didn't know that was a thing for me. So I started to do that and also starting to deep dive into the more supplement side of the business for him. And so I have been enjoying, expanding that side. On top of me, I am in the community. I do connect with people. And I know you talked about it earlier when we was talking about networking and having networking events. I do partner with Tiara. She's here too. Her and her husband and I are doing our first networking event where we are wanting to get more people together in one space and leverage each other. And so I do that. I also sit on a board for a couple of different nonprofits. So I just kind of dibble and dabble in multiple different things and see where I can fit in and to help. And I think for me, I don't mind sitting in the background to help push something of someone else forward because you have to be able to work as a team. So, yeah.
I love that. You mentioned that a couple times about you don't mind being in the background, helping people in their foreground space, right?
Mhm.
And pushing people to their greatness. You said that a few times, and y'all better hear that and catch that because that's important for a leader. You are a true leader because you said, you know what, I don't mind serving others because that really is the true strength of a leader is being able to serve others and really pushing them forward because you know your place, you know where you thrive and where you succeed and do your best and pushing other people to do that same exact thing is truly amazing. So keep on doing that, Bo, because we appreciate that.
For
And all
sure.
of your folks here in the chat definitely appreciate it. Yes, yes.
For
Yes,
sure.
awesome. So what do you feel is one of your biggest failures? I know we talk about your strengths and your greatness, but what do you feel is like one of your failures and something that you had to learn from and grow from?
So, I would tell you, at one point before getting into retail, I thought I wanted to be a nurse. And my family thought I wanted to be a nurse. And so, being from the South, and I hate to call it, my Southern family, they like, you need to be in the medical field. This is where the money at. Like, you're guaranteed to have a job. Like, go there. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna be a nurse, because that's what everybody say I should do. And so I would tell you, I spent 3 years going to school to be between a nurse, and then at one point I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that. Maybe physical therapist. And I'm like, oh no, crap, I'm just gonna quit. So I would tell you, I used to regret quitting so much. Like, when I tell you, I used to regret it all the time, and it was something that weighed on me a lot. And I was, over the last year or so, I was comfortable, and this is my learning part. I was comfortable with understanding that wasn't my path. Like, it was okay that I quit to take another approach at life. Now, don't get me wrong. My parents was upset. They spent a lot of money in 3 years. If you think about it, I had one more year to graduate. Like, they couldn't, they're like, why didn't you finish? I'm like, it's deeper than that for me. And the moment I quit was the moment I pivot my life, and me taking control over my entire life. So that was a failure, because I hold on to that a lot, because I felt like I disappointed a lot of people that was really close to me. And I know it weighed heavy on my family, including myself at one point, but it's no, not anymore. So that's the lesson.
I love that. And we learn from our lessons. You learned that just wasn't for you. And you was like, you know what? This ain't it.
It is
And now
not.
you are operating in that space that's truly made for you. What has been like the biggest compliment that people have given you?
You know what? I carry this one with me a lot, because people always tell me I have a very soothing voice. And I'm like, how? Because I feel like I'm country. But people always tell me, you have a very soothing voice where I want to listen, or you're capturing me in whatever it is that you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, well, great. Thank you. But for me, I don't see it, but people reassure me all the time. And I'm like, I'm going to keep going. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's something big for me.
I would definitely concur with them and echo exactly what they said. And one of the reasons why we're here today is because both you and I are part of what? The Black Speakers Network, y'all. So if you're not already a
Yes.
part of the Black Speakers Network, yes, myself and Alberta, we are both public speakers. And so with us being in that space, we have the privilege of getting to meet other amazing public speakers just like us. And so we get to have opportunities to connect like we're doing now on our podcast and also other media. So like I have a radio show, she has other spaces as well. And so I'll be on hers and everybody's like joining each other's podcast. We're inviting each other to like our speaking engagements and stuff. And so we are really, really in spaces, to your point, that just really allow us to leverage that. And your speaking voice, girl, is definitely, yes, it is amazing. And so definitely keep using it, because it is not just a compliment, but it's what's gonna pay the bills soon.
Right. That's what I'm
So
hoping.
yeah, yes, yes. Listen, so if you could go back to your 18-year-old self, knowing what you know now, what would you tell her?
Whew. I was partying at 18. Um, what would I say? I've always been hard on myself, even at a very young age. Um, Even wanting to work, but then my parents didn't really want me to work. But I'm like, no, I want to go do it. I want to go after things myself. So I would just say to my 18-year-old self is to give myself grace, love, and understand that, things are going to unpack however it sees fit for you. So giving myself grace at 18 is what I would tell myself back then. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely can understand that because we feel like we got to accomplish so much and we still have so much life to live, you know. Well, we think we have so much life to live, right? So,
Right,
yes,
right.
awesome. Tell me about the three most influential people in your life, who they are, and why they are influential in your life.
Oh, I have a lot of people. Um, I probably need to start with my mom and my sister because they might chew me out. They're probably listening and just not in the chat. But my mom and my sister is so supportive. And growing up, I never knew my mom struggled or anything. I never saw it. She never showcased it. But as I got older, I heard stories. It was just certain things that they kept hidden from me from a protection standpoint. So I never saw a struggle in either one of them. And my sister, she is it's crazy because I always talk about her stories. So like her roles kind of flop with her and my brother-in-law, from him, not being able to work anymore. And he is, suffering from a brain injury. And so just the strength of her being able to walk alongside of her husband and not give up. And my sister got married when she was 19 years old. And I hope she don't mind me telling her age. She's 43. So they've been together their entire life. So I would say my mom, because she's a fighter. And it's crazy because even with her and my father separating when I was like 7 years old, I still have a connection, with my dad. And my dad is the type of person, it's crazy because I'm the same way as my dad. He is gonna do whatever makes him happy. It may not be the right thing. I'm telling you, it may be wrong, but at the end of the day, he's gonna do what is gonna make him happy. But also, you can learn for those things as well. But that's what I would say. My parents and my sister, they mean the world to me, and I've gotten some good life qualities from them that I carry on now, because of how my upbringing was. So yeah.
I absolutely love that. If you could sit down with any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Oh, historical. That's a good one. Mm. So I would say I'm a fighter, right? I fight for my culture. I fight for my people, um, all day long. It's a constant battle. And I would probably say, and it's probably gonna sound very cliche, but probably Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks, to be honest, because they fight with not thinking about just themselves. And I had to learn that. And for me, at one point, I haven't always, cared about people or want to be placed on the back burner. I had to learn in life that it isn't just about you and what makes you feel good. It's about how can you uplift other people and what are the sacrifices that you're going to have to take to do that? And are you capable and willing to make those sacrifices? And so for me, anytime somebody can sacrifice their own life or sacrifice being
Mhm.
beaten or whatever the case may be, um, that's deep. And so I am a
Yeah,
fighter. And so I would love to probably connect with people from that time, I would say. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. I feel that. I definitely feel that. Especially, I mean, both. What is
Mm.
one piece of advice that you would give someone who is just starting out in public speaking?
Ooh. I would say figure out what is going to be your mission. Like, what are you going after? Because I think in life we have so many different stories, and we have to find what that niche is and what people are going to gravitate towards, and how are you going to, brand yourself. What does that look like? Are you going to go out here and hustle? Are you going to join different platforms, like how you and I joined the Black Public Speaker one, or anyone like that? Like, really find out what your niche is and go after it. And be okay with being vulnerable, but being real with yourself and being authentic. I would say that's the number one thing. Don't change who you are to accommodate anybody, but be adaptable. That's what I learned. You have to be adaptable to whatever room that you're in, whatever space that you're in. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. That is great advice, guys. Are you listening? You guys tuned in? I see y'all in the chat. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What are the 3 podcasts that you are currently listening to and why?
Woo! This is crazy. So, by me starting my podcast, my guy has started his own, and his name is Umoja Artego. He launched this podcast called The Radical Black America, a Black American. And so he is like, I think I get additional energy from him because he's just like rapid fire, rah. He touches on things that we as African Americans don't want to talk about, the tough conversations, and he's not afraid. And I think I get a lot of my energy from him because it's just very infectious. Because he's just like raw. And just, I'm like, calm down. Just bring it down. But it's a beautiful thing when, again, him being authentic in his space and want to do was right for, the culture. So that's one. I would tell you
Somebody said, what's his name again? In the chat.
Umoja Artego. Yes.
All right, you got that?
Yeah. It's UMOJA Artego, like art and ego. So he's a force. Another one, right before I moved to Oregon, I'm pretty sure you know Eric Thomas. Right when the pandemic hit, he started doing like his online conferences. And so I was a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I went.
You talking about Pastor Eric Thomas?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
It's a small world. A small world.
Oh my God, he's amazing, and that's where I get my energy from, and that's really how I started wanting to attack my entrepreneurship. Is when he did the conference of the 120 conference. I did that online because that's in the time frame when COVID hit, and we're all in the house. And I went through the whole series, and it was an amazing investment. I would invest any day. So I also listened to his platform that he has. And he also have another one from a spiritual standpoint. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. So I listened to that one too. And by me connecting to you, I got to give it to the G.E.M because I listened to some of your live streams that you do on YouTube too. So being able to create a space where it's so different. Like, I think one of them that I listened to, it was talking about, holistic living. And I'm always using that word in my workspace, or just talking about life, because it's more than going to the gym, just feeling fulfilled across the board. So I got another one that I check in and I always share with people. So yeah, I gave 4. I didn't listen.
Yes. That's all right, girl. That's okay. But I'm glad that the G.E.M was part of that. And just in case you guys don't know, the G.E.M is all about people inspiring people. And so just like Alberta's doing today, other people have joined our platform doing the same exact thing, inspiring people with their personal testimony, their walk, what they're doing, how they, live life vibrantly, full of energy, motivated, and energizing others. So I just want you guys to know that that is the true intention of the Grand Enterprises movement. We are all about just moving people in a direction of living their best life authentically, but also being inspired 24/7. So I thank you for that plug, and I'm definitely going to check out some of the other ones. Make sure you definitely send me emojis so I can check his out, because I definitely want to hear all about us, Black Power, y'all, and fight for our people, right? And just having that voice, because some of us are nervous to speak up because of just so much that's happening in society. So, it would be nice to hear someone's perspective on, just our culture in a different way and educating us. So definitely got to check him out, y'all. Um, let's see. What one question do you wish that I would have asked so far that I might not have asked, but I could still ask?
Girl, I don't know. You had a list. I'm like, oh my God, I'm just gonna speak. I said, ooh. Let me see. I feel like you asked me a lot of them. Did I miss any? Hmm.
No, I still have some. I throw that in there because I'm like, is there anything that you would have wished that man, I wish she would have asked me this. Because if she would have asked me this, man, I had the answer ready for that.
Listen, I go
But
with the
that's
flow.
okay. I love that. I love that. Yes. So listen, what are some gems that people have dropped in your life throughout, childhood into adulthood and even now that inspire you?
Hmm. Let me think. Um, I would tell you. So my sister, I'll give one that she dropped with me, because she know at one point in my life, and I think we all do it, but at one point in my life, I cared too much about what people said, or I was also taught to like keep my head down, or say anything, go to work, do your job, all of those good things. So she was like, you can't live in that space like that forever because you're gonna always sell yourself short. So you can't always just think or move for other people, but you also got to take care of yourself in the midst of that. So that was something that I stayed, true and connected to just as I got to adult and continue to learn. Another thing is, one of my colleagues, oh my God, when I tell you my support system is big, and I tell people all the time, like it is really big. So one of my colleagues, I don't know if he's on here, I sent him a link to Batarius. I was actually his field trainer prior to me getting to this job. And he was like, I see so much in you, right? And I want to get you to that next level, and that next level is here. And so because I, be quiet, sit in the background, learn, buckle up, and understand that if you really want this, you're gonna have to really like learn and understand like it's a process. So the minute I realized that, I understand what real support looked like, what genuine support really looked like when someone is going to set you up for success and help you navigate and pull you up with them. And so that's a beautiful thing too. And that's how I live my day to day. When you talk about when we talk about not supporting others, and that's a big thing in the Black community, not really supporting each other. I don't take that lightly at all. It's important to understand like you can't get to the next level alone. You cannot do something by yourself. Like you got to have support. You got to have people in your corner, and it has to be genuine. And I know when things are not genuine, and I detach from those things, but ultimately, um, having a big support system and buckling up and being quiet, it's a beautiful thing too. So yeah.
People over here in the chat, they got questions for you all day. They want to know who you voting for and why. They over here asking
Yeah,
personal
look,
questions.
tell your father I'm not telling. I'm not telling.
Yeah, be quiet, OG Blue. He's so funny. He's so funny, girl. He said, so where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? They did ask that, so we're going to let them ask that. Where do you see
Oh
yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
man, that's a great question. I don't even think I looked that far. But ultimately being able to work for myself, work 100% for myself, and continue to spread my wings with my platform, and continue to go deeper. Like I should be on larger stages. Like my message and my journey is bigger than just me. So that's all I got right now. That's pretty far. So I haven't really thought that deep into it to that capacity, but that's a great question.
But you know what? That's far, because when we think about reaching that level of greatness as a public
Hmm.
speaker, it takes work, and there's layers to that thing. Like so they just like, I'm so,
Listen,
listen, get out of the chat. They got to get out of
it
the chat. Y'all go
it
ahead.
is so funny because look, I will probably name my first child Alberta, but because I'm looking for
Albert.
my grandmother. But then if Umoja is going to be my husband, it will probably have some African name. So I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
I'm gonna get you MC Blue. He over there in that chat cutting up, girl. I'm
He
sorry.
is funny.
Um, he's funny. He's so cool. I love my dad. Shout out to my dad and my mom. I love my mama too. From your journey in life, what gems have you dropped, or are you able to drop, that people can kind of hold on to and be like, you know what? I like that little nugget Alberta just dropped. Share some gems with the people, especially my dad. Tell him to stop cutting up. That's one of the gems for
Right.
you, MC Blue.
No, I love it. He's funny.
So
Um,
drop a couple of gems.
what would be a couple? I would say put yourself first. And I know that's pretty basic, but from me personally, not having any kids, right? Not married at 33. At one point in my life, I felt like, well, damn, I'm going to be lonely like this for the rest of my life. But that's not the case. It's like, no, you're going to have a more stable life financially and so much more before you open that gate up, right? So for me, put yourself first and understand when you need to wrap it completely up from other people and attachments, right? So I think a lot of times what I see, in communication with people and what I've learned is sometimes we can continue to give off so much to someone else, so much to where we personally are drained. We can't even function ourselves because we put energy on everyone else except ourselves. And so I would say put yourself first for starters, but also if you don't know how to do that, don't self sabotage yourself. And I'm gonna have to shout out Tiara. Tiara started this little wave with me with this book that she gave me for Christmas last year. And it was called Self Sabotage Mastery something. I literally got the book on my desk. It's crazy. But it took me 4 months just to get through the first chapter because that's how deep it was, and really deep diving into things that bother you that we never ever want to even tapped on. And it's crazy because I have a life coach that I have access to and we talk on a regular basis. But being able to really spend time with yourself and work on yourself, which is a part of self care that I talk about all the time, is it hits completely different than you just going and relying on that person. But I think they both go hand in hand because I'm able to actually connect based off that book. And so I've placed that book in so many hands. Oh my God, so many hands. I'm buying it, I'm giving it away, whatever, because it's amazing. And I'm a different person than I was last Christmas because of that book. That's how real it is. And it's a beautiful thing. So continue to put yourself first, work on yourself, and don't give off too much that you probably don't have much to give, and know when to wrap it up. It could be family. You can wrap it up from people with respect. Don't leave it loose and be mean, but you can wrap it up with respect and say, "Hey, I have no more to give. I have nothing else to give to you. I don't know what more you ask for," and be okay and stand on that. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Man, that's it up when I'm a minister. I'm preaching on a topic this month about, learning when to let go when something no longer serves you, right? Like, and that's in
Mhm.
all aspects of life. That last piece about like No, it's time. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, right? So I
Mhm.
love that, Gem. I absolutely love that, Gem. Tiara said, and this is the name of the book, Transforming Self-Sabotage into Self-Mastery. And it's by Alice Moore. Alice Moore,
Mhm.
y'all. So it's in the chat. Definitely got to check that out for sure. For sure. Listen,
It's really
I hate
good.
to leave. I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave. Oh my gosh. As
It's
we
been
come
great,
to an
Tammy. I
end,
appreciate it.
I
It's
know
been really
you are
good.
the bomb, girlfriend. I love, love, love your energy. If you could be remembered for one thing here on the Gem, and no, not just on the Gem, in life, if you could be remembered for one thing, what would it be? What would you want people to know you for?
Um, I want people to know me for my heart, and that I genuinely want people to get better and understand that I have your back and I support you. And so that's something I stand on, and that's something that I would want to leave as part of my legacy. Like, man, Alberta had all this energy. You remember what Alberta did? You remember this? So she was just good people. Like, and so that's what I would go with.
Absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. And then last but not least, y'all, I hate to leave. I know, Tiara, it was awesome, y'all.
Right. Remember the
I
time
we
we
so funny. Y'all, listen, as we wrap up, I just want to say thank you so so much, Alberta, for just gracing us with your presence today here on the Gem. And I know this is not the last time. This is not the last time that we're gonna
Thank you. I don't know where Tammy went. Oh, I see you. Look like she came back. Yep, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh my God.
They won't let you be
With
great,
this app. I'm done. Me?
but we can hear you. You sound great.
I don't know what happened. Ah!
I think you can say something, Tammy. I think I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Yes.
I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Y'all
Ah,
listen,
you're good.
they don't want us to be great. They don't want us to be great. They
They
hate
don't.
us. StreamYard, I'm
Mhm.
gonna call your support team and let you know you're doing us dirty.
Right.
Telling y'all. But anyway, thank you again for being on the show, for gracing us with your presence. Definitely want to connect with you again. I'm more than willing to, jump on your platform and anyone else that you recommend. And likewise, I'm going to be doing some women events and different things, and definitely want you to be one in the crowd, boo, or part of the stage.
Please.
We'll talk about that a little later.
For
Yes,
sure.
yes, I
I
have
and
some big things happening. Yeah.
yeah. And thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And I told
So
you earlier, like, this is my first live one. And I thank you. Thank you for your
oh,
energy, and thank you for being so welcoming. And I appreciate it.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, we can't let you go without you telling people how can they find you on social media, because they're gonna want to know all your business and be all in your stuff, girl.
All up in my
And we want to
business.
support your podcast.
No, thank you. So yeah, my website is corporateclassypodcast.com. So if you go there, you'll find I am on every single platform for my podcast. It is audio only, as well as you can find me on Facebook, Corporate Classy Podcast, or Bravo CC on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you type in Alberta Thomas, you'll find me, I promise. But that's it. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for rocking with the Gem. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful evening and stay well.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you.